Welcome to day 23 of our January challenge for 2022 and another of our days where we're working now on the flow with everything we've already learnt. So I'm going to start by playing from bar 17. So have the music in front of you. I'm going to start by playing from bar 17. This is our last 8 bars worth of stuff. So this is that new melody and just fitting that beautifully together. So let's have a go. Nice and steady for starters. Dum ba dee dum ba. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So you'll notice there, and this is another great reason for thinking about the thumb rather than necessarily the first note of the pattern. You'll notice there at the end of the line that our left hand is playing a thumb on the very F that we want to start the next bit of tune with. Okay, so we want to really, if you can have your thumb placed maybe on the red and then just allow the fingers to open out as late as possible so that this has had time to ring out. Okay, so let's just look at that bar 20, which is the end of line 5, going into bar 21, beginning of line 6. Okay, just go straight on that bar. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and. As there. Let's try that again. So you all know where we are, bar 20, at the end of line 5. Okay, right hand's on an A, left hand on D, A, D. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Place your thumb on the red and open. Okay, well done. If we did that just the right hand, it'd be an A, placing thumb on the red and then opening as late as possible, but buffing, buff, all 3 fingers on at the same time and then onto the next section. Okay, so that's an important transition to work on. So let's just go back now to bar 17 again. We'll do these 2 lines of the music. Now that you've ironed that out. Okay, here's our counting. Nice and maybe a little bit slower again, just to give you headspace. 1 and 2 and 3 and. And it'd be worth maybe doing that a few times over. Now I'm going to go back to bar 9. So I'm going to look at, this is from line 3 onwards, so the last 4 lines. And we're still in the same speed and tempo, and we're going to pull that together so that we go nicely into this section. So we've got all this intro work. This part, probably, because I'm going to keep it at this gentler speed, will feel very straightforward at this speed. But it's being able to maintain whatever speed you want to do this at for the melody. So let's keep it nice and gentle. Lots of space to think. So we've got D, A, D in the left, E, F, A in the right. And we're making sure that our left thumb is above where our right finger is. So our thumbs are nice and level. Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Top hand ready, and And I did exactly the thing that we need to be careful of at the end of line 4 there, where I carried on playing what are actually crotchet notes or quarter notes, and I played them as quavers still. So I'm going to write on my music 1 and 2 and 3 and, just in that part, just so that I don't ever make that mistake again. 1, 2, 3, and now I'll never do that again. Okay, so that might have felt really slow for bars 9 onwards, but unless you could continue to keep up at bar 17, those last 2 lines, then that is the speed it needs to go. Okay, and then we'll work on moving all of that up. So let's stay on that section, but we'll try it a little bit faster now, okay, which will make bars 9 onwards probably be absolutely fine. And then the question is, can you keep that up with? Okay, all right, so let's try bar 9 a little bit faster. Yum, bum, bum, ba, dee, da. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So that's the speed I feel comfortable at playing it. It's not the full mark speed, but that's my comfort level place. Don't worry if that's not your comfort level place, but I do want you to be mindful then that we mustn't rush lines 3 and 4 and then slow down. We need to get the balance right. And this then of course relates to how fast we play the beginning, okay? Because our beginning is twice as slow, isn't it? So we're sort of been going yum, ba, dee, da, dum. There's our crotchets from bar 9, but those are quavers at the beginning. So da, dum, bum, bum, da, dum, bum, bum, bum. Okay, so just being mindful of that. So now we're going to go from the beginning all the way through this whole page. Okay, so I'm going to do a slightly slower version again, but it's keeping that and maintaining that through. Okay, so slightly slower version and then this slightly more moving on version. Dum, dum, bum, bum. We're going to do this speed for now. So the count will be 1 and a 2 and a. Okay, 1 and 2 and Excellent, well done. And I think for almost everybody listening, that is probably enough of this video that you need to watch. I'm just going to do it now at the 102 speed, okay? But bear in mind that's not the speed I'm comfortable at either. I can do it at that speed, but I actually, for my personal preference, just want it a little bit less, okay? And it's absolutely fine, whichever is the speed that's right for you. Okay, so from the beginning for those that want it. 1 and 2 and 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 nice at that speed. You know, it definitely keeps it pushing through, keeps it flowing, and it definitely has a life, really nice life at that speed. The reason it's not my comfort level is you'll hear that I tripped up a couple of times. For some reason I think it's just the way it's spaced, I keep wanting to play a bigger stretch in the penultimate line than is actually there. So that's something I need to watch on, and actually I'll put some specs. Pair of specs. Never be afraid to write something on your music if it will help you, okay? You don't need everything written on there. You don't need it so busy that you can't see the wood for the trees, walnut tree, but anything that is actually helpful for you, get it written in, it's helpful. All right, enjoy, work on that flow at your speed, at your comfort level, but make it relative, make it work. And we will start on the next page and the next bit of learning tomorrow. Great work, well done.